Today's devotional is on gambling, and we just want to ask the question, what does the Bible say about gambling? The Bible doesn't say anything specifically about gambling. The closest thing that we have, I think, comes from Proverbs 13:11, and that verse reads, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." I think the main reason I want to look at the question of gambling is that here in our town, Beloit, Wisconsin, there is a proposed casino to go in to our community. And recently I wrote a letter to the editor arguing that it wouldn't be the best thing for our community for a variety of reasons, not the least of which would be it kind of runs against the hard work character that really defines our community, and casinos. Any kind of gaming, I think, reflect this notion of wealth gained hastily rather than little by little. So I wrote the letter to the editor, and I feel pretty strongly about it, and I think the Bible kind of backs up this notion that God would prefer us to use our skills and our talents and our resources to build wealth gradually. Now, a lot of people would say that things like Wall Street are the same kind of gambling. So if you're opposed to a casino or any kind of gaming, you ought to be opposed to Wall Street. But there's a huge difference there. Wall Street allows for and encourages research into the companies you're going to invest in, and you are in fact investing in a company to help them to do what they feel that they need to do. You get to read prospectus. You get to call up the company and learn about them. So by virtue of that work, you're able to minimize risk. And so it's less of a gamble even than something that you would see in a gaming context. Other people might say that gaming is simply a different form of entertainment, like anything else that we do. And I guess in its most strict understanding, with entertainment being a form of sort of taking our attention away from something, distracting us with something positive. I guess in that sense it is a form of entertainment, but it's not a classic sense of entertainment, at least in my view. Entertainment is something where I pay money for somebody to do something, to use their skills, their talents, and something that they've worked hard on to show me something and to entertain me in the sense of being a positive diversion that requires some kind of talent or ability, whereas of course gambling is nothing along those lines. It's pure risk. Gambling is risk, and the dictionary even defines gambling as something that involves risking your money or something of value to you in order to gain more money. And so those ideas, they definitely run counter to the ideas I think we have in the Bible that we've seen in Proverbs 13:11 here about trying to gain money little by little. The Bible just simply doesn't support any kind of get-rich quick schemes, and one of the most detrimental features of gambling is that when somebody wins in gambling, it's contingent on somebody losing, and sometimes somebody loses a whole lot. It might not just be a monetary loss. It might be a loss of work. It might be a loss of relationship. In some cases, maybe even loss of their lives when it becomes such an addiction. So the winning by somebody losing concept is certainly something that runs counter to this notion of gaining little by little. And then I think finally one of the things that troubles me about gambling in general is that it doesn't produce anything. There's nothing that comes out of it. There is this thrill that comes with the risk. And so gambling is less of an entertaining activity and more of a thrill-seeking activity. So it's more like skydiving or bungee cord jumping or something like that. In those cases where you're risking your life. In gambling, while you're not risking your life per se, you're risking a lot of money in some cases for the thrill. And so it just doesn't produce the kinds of things that we typically can see associated with entertainment in its pure form. So for all those reasons, and certainly this notion that wealth gained hastily is not the way the Bible wants us to go, but instead the Bible encourages us to gain wealth little by little. I don't think gambling is in the best interest for a Christian to participate in. And in the case of a casino in a community, I don't think it adds to the character of a community. Thank you, and God bless you.